With every cruise line, a tale unfolds. On deck, let the ocean take your hand and discover your next uncharted land. With luxurious, passionate, adventurous whispers to tell. On deck, you'll be living life so well.
There are names in travel that evoke more than memories. They stir emotion. And for those who know the sea, Crystal Cruises is one of them. I'm your host, Chantal Marie, and in this episode of Cruise Critic on Deck, we step into a world where luxury isn't just promised, it's felt in every detail. Crystal Cruises has returned, and not just returned, reinvented, with a bold new vision that honors its legacy while pushing the boundaries of what a luxury cruise can be. We'll explore culinary landscapes where every dish tells a story, from globally inspired menus to exclusive collaborations. For example, by recently collaborating with renowned worldwide restaurant brand Beef Bar, each moment of flavor is masterfully crafted to bring the culinary concept to sea. We'll discover a level of service that's more about intuition, where the crew remembers not just your name, but how you take your coffee and when you like your champagne. And when the sun sets, the ships come alive with entertainment as refined as it is dazzling, from captivating performances to the first ever Casino de Monte Carlo at sea. Crystal Cruises provides evening elegance at every turn. Join us as we uncover the artistry, creativity, and soul behind Crystal Cruises' renaissance, a journey not only across the water, but into the future of luxury at sea. This is Crystal Cruises, and this is where it begins, again.
Welcome to a voyage into what luxury truly means. My name is Chandra DaCosta, your cruise concierge and resident storyteller at Cruise Critic on Deck. And today, we're at the Miami headquarters of Crystal to get a glimpse behind the scenes of what goes into creating cruise vacations to remember. Crystal was born in 1988 with a bold vision: to set a new standard in luxury travel at sea. With the launch of Crystal Harmony, followed by the beloved Crystal Symphony and Crystal Serenity, the cruise line quickly earned a reputation for refined elegance, exceptional service, and enriching experiences that went far beyond the expected. Over the decades, Crystal became synonymous with sophistication, pioneering onboard enrichment, destination immersion, and award-winning cuisine. It wasn't just a cruise, it was a lifestyle, elevated, cultured, unforgettable. But in 2022, when the tides shifted, Crystal paused, leaving loyal travelers wondering if that golden era had quietly faded. And then, a new chapter began. Today, under the ownership of the Abercrombie & Kent Travel Group, a name synonymous with exceptional service and elevated guest experiences around the world, Crystal has been reborn, meticulously restored, reimagined, and infused with fresh vision. While the ships remain rooted in legacy, inspired by possibility, and ready to sail into the future of luxury, what lies within is something entirely new.
What sets Crystal apart is the level of service and knowing and anticipating all of your needs.
There's nothing missing, and the service is exquisite. The food is exquisite.
Our crew to guest ratio is actually one of the highest in the industry, with almost one crew member for each guest.
So between crew and staff and guests, this is my family.
You will have crew members remembering who the guest is, what they would like to drink, what we can put in the minibar, what their preference of pillow is. Exceptional at sea.
On deck.
I had a chance to speak with Kate Thompson, Senior Vice President of Marketing Strategy for A&K Travel Group. The conversation started talking about the company's 35-year milestone and what it means to the brand.
It's more than just a number. 35, an amazing legacy. but really it's what we do with that legacy and taking it forward. So it's a real celebration of our guests that mean so much to us, the staff that mean so much to us, and the fact that Crystal is this wonderful, cherished brand that we're now taking into the future, and Crystal is, back better than ever. And so this year we wanted to mark it by doing some very special sailings, some very special voyages with some old friends of ours. So we've invited lots of old captains and cruise directors back, and it's a chance for the guests that know Crystal over many, many years to come back to socialise with each other, because they build such bonds between the guests, and to experience some of the, reminisce a little back over those 35 years and just have a great time together. So it means a lot to us from a legacy perspective, but also then building Crystal for the future too.
Speaking of the future, we asked Kate how Crystal's leveraging innovation to elevate the guest experience, both on board and on shore.
So some of the big things that have happened this year. So the culinary is always a huge focus for us. So we have got the new beef bar concept that's launched on board just at the end of last year. They do beef, leaf and reef. They have this whole new concept, which is really great. So it's just great sort of street food, but wonderful sharing food, but elevated of course because it's Crystal. And then we have a new Italian concept coming on the ships later this year from the Alaimo brothers. They are famous Italian Michelin-starred chef and front of house duo brothers, the youngest ever chef to retain or to earn 3 Michelin stars, and has retained it ever since. So he's really legendary in the Italian food space, and the culinary excellence that he and his brother create throughout the restaurants that they have in Italy is really unmatched and unbelievable. So we are truly honoured and delighted that they're going to come on board and bring their Italian flair to Osteria di Video. So Crystal really pioneered this concept. Back in 2003, Nobu first came on board Crystal and has stayed with us ever since, which we're really proud of and delighted to have, the only Nobu at sea on both the ships. And so that was where we started with that pioneering concept of Nobu, and then taking it right through to bringing on Beef Bar, bringing on Alaimo, and then more to come in the future, I'm sure.
Another concept that Crystal has put into motion is the first ever Casino de Monte Carlo at sea. I asked Kate what inspired this groundbreaking gaming partnership, and what does it mean for guests on board?
A hugely pivotal moment, and one of those really innovative things that we're so proud of and absolutely delighted about. Our casinos on board were modelled on the high roller rooms at the original casino in Monte Carlo, and they are identical. The carpets, the walls, the lights, the chairs, like everything is absolutely identical. So when you step into the casinos on board, you really are stepping into the Casino de Monte Carlo. Gaming and entertainment is what really sets Crystal apart. The enrichment program that we have is very well known and really well regarded, and is far richer and broader than many other cruise lines.
It's clear that Crystal has a passionate following among its adoring fans. We asked Kate what she attributes this loyalty to.
People say it, but it's so true. It's what you really remember is how someone made you feel. It's not what they did, it's how you make you feel. And having dinner with some of the guests on board, I'll always ask them, what is it about Crystal? What makes it special? And they always say, it's just better, it's just better. But it's the staff. They'll come back to it time and time again, and we call it the Crystal family. And it really is, it is welcome home, it's not welcome aboard, and they come back time and time. Yeah. And what's really nice is they'll often connect through the Crystal Society Facebook page first, and say, I'm travelling on this, anybody going to be on there? And then they'll meet up, and there's regular Crystal Society meetups on board, so they get to make friends, and various different dining opportunities when they can dine together. So yeah, absolutely, they plan it, they make it, and then they make it happen on board.
As Crystal and A&K both serve discerning global travelers, we were curious how these two iconic brands align to create a seamless luxury experience for guests. And what unique opportunities has the A&K partnership opened up in terms of curated travel experiences?
It was quite a big moment when the Abercrombie & Kent Travel Group acquired Crystal a few years ago, and it became this ultimate fusion of the best of land and the best of sea, and actually air too, because A&K does air. So Abercrombie & Kent are a very well-known global operator, and I wear lots of multiple hats, so I can talk a lot about A&K too. But A&K are famous globally for the quality of the travel that they serve for their guests, or the itineraries that we put together for our guests. Everything from small group journeys to private air trips to expedition cruising to beautiful tailor-made trips. And we also have a wonderful collection of properties around the world, from safari camps in Africa to riverboats on the Nile, and a new one coming in Peru later this year. So A&K brings this wealth of travel expertise and inside access and knowledge.
Up next, we'll introduce you to a world of unparalleled experiences, where exclusivity meets discovery, and every detail is designed to surprise, delight, and inspire. Stay with us, the best is still to come.
As you can see, this is no ordinary journey that we're taking you on. It's a symphony of shadow and light, and where each wave is a brushstroke in a cruise line's masterpiece that we call watercolors.
In the world of luxury travel, there are names that resonate, not because of marketing, but because of meaning. Crystal Cruises, Abercrombie & Kent, two names synonymous with elegance, experience, and discovery. And now, for the first time, their worlds have merged, creating something extraordinary at sea. Founded by the pioneer of experiential travel, Geoffrey Kent, Abercrombie & Kent redefined the very concept of adventure. What began as a safari company with a single Land Rover and a dream soon became a global leader in curated luxury travel, spanning all 7 continents. With an ethos of insider access, authenticity, and absolute comfort, A&K has taken guests into the heart of the world's most remote and remarkable destinations. From Antarctica's frozen frontiers to the sands of the Serengeti, from the temples of Angkor to the Amazon rainforest. But beyond the bucket list lies something even more rare: transformation. A&K's journeys don't just take you places, they shift your perspective. That spirit now sails with Crystal. When Abercrombie & Kent Travel Group acquired Crystal in 2022, it marked a renaissance, not only for the iconic cruise line, but for the art of travel itself. Today, under the leadership of Manfredi Lefebvre d'Ovidio and Geoffrey Kent, Crystal has been reborn. With its legendary ships, Crystal Symphony and Crystal Serenity, restored to grandeur and reimagined for a new era. But this is more than a restoration, it's a reinvention. And the A&K touch is felt in every detail. Where Crystal has always excelled in service, culinary excellence, and entertainment, A&K brings an unmatched depth of exploration.
People come because they want to be a part of something that's different and unique, and I think Crystal offers something that's different and unique.
It's exciting.
We have every kind of activity you can imagine. That's what Crystal is known for.
The choice at Crystal for entertainment is second to none.
Shore excursions are no longer tours. They're experiences, thoughtfully designed to reflect the soul of each destination. Imagine stepping into a museum after hours, guided by its curator, sharing tea with a local family in the hills of Kyoto, or sailing a private dhow at sunset along the Omani coast. These are the kinds of moments A&K is known for, and now they're available to Crystal Cruises guests. And it's not just on land where A&K's influence shines. On board, service feels even more intuitive, more personal, informed by decades of experience in luxury hospitality. Every guest is seen, known, and cared for, with an attentiveness that is second nature. Cuisine has become an even deeper expression of place, with menus inspired by A&K's global roots and ingredients sourced from the destinations you explore. Entertainment, wellness, and enrichment have been reimagined too, blending Crystal Cruises' signature elegance with A&K's world-spanning insight. Whether it's a wine tasting with a sommelier who trained in Bordeaux, or a lecture by an anthropologist who's lived among remote tribes, the onboard experience has been elevated to something profound. Together, Crystal Cruises and Abercrombie & Kent have created a new way to travel, one where the journey is as rich as the destination, where you move through the world with elegance, but also with intention. This is a voyage where every detail tells a story, where every experience is crafted by those who understand that true luxury is not about extravagance, but about access, connection, and authenticity. For those who seek the rare and the refined, for those who crave meaning, not just movement, for those ready to rediscover the world, this is your invitation. This is Crystal, powered by Abercrombie & Kent, where the world opens and wonder begins.
In the world of luxury cruising, details matter. Which suite delivers the ultimate indulgence? Which ports hide the rarest experiences? And how do you elevate every moment from simply special to truly unforgettable? Welcome to Dots and Dashes, where Cruise Critic's most passionate members and followers ask the real questions that shape your next extraordinary journey. Question 1. What new destinations is Crystal considering for 2026 and beyond?
We have a big year coming up in 2026. So Crystal Symphony starts the year over in Asia, of course with Cherry Blossom. Who doesn't want to be in Cherry Blossom? It's a beautiful time of the year to be there. So Crystal Symphony starts over in Asia, and then she makes her way across to the US for the first time since 2019. So it's been quite a hiatus that Crystal Symphony hasn't been in the US. So it's quite a big moment for her, big moment for us to be back in the US, and she'll do a full Alaska season in the US at that time of year. Crystal Serenity will do a full world cruise from Los Angeles through to the Med in early 26, and then from the Med she'll come transatlantic back to the US through the Panama Canal, which will be really exciting, and then she'll travel down the coast of South America and then back up, and then for the holiday season both ships will be in the US for the holiday season, and then she will depart from San Diego on the 2027 World Cruise.
Question 2. Do you have programs and/or rates for solo travelers?
We were really delighted to be awarded by Cruise Critic Best Cruise Line for Solo Travellers recently, which was really important to us, and we welcome our solo travellers with open arms. We have a variety of different programs for solo travellers on board, namely our solo suites, which are really important, that we have a category of cabins specifically for solo travellers. We also have many offers throughout the year for no single supplements and reduced single supplements on some of the bigger cabins also. So that's really important. And then we have a range of different activities for solo travellers. So we have our table for 8, which we call it, and regular hosted tables where solo travellers can get together if they wish. And some solo travellers just want to dine alone and others don't. Or when they get on board Crystal and they realise the atmosphere is so great, then they come together. We also have hosts and dance partners. We'll have various solo activities throughout the week. So it's really up to the traveller and their tastes and their personalities really, and how they want to enjoy the cruise, how much they want to get involved with the solo activities or not. But the thing with Crystal is everyone is so friendly. It doesn't matter if you're a solo or with a group, because people want to come and interact with the staff and with other guests, and that's kind of being part of the Crystal family.
Question 3. What is the difference between the Aquamarine and the Sapphire suites?
We get this question a lot, and the big difference is of course space. One is slightly bigger than the other. So the Sapphire suite is the larger one of the two, but they're both absolutely beautifully appointed. So the main difference is, as I mentioned, the Sapphire suite is slightly bigger. It has a separate bedroom area, and then it has a separate sitting dining area. And then with the Aquamarine, the sitting area is in the same room as the bedroom. So it's a typical sort of junior suite and suite combination. And they both have verandas, beautiful. The Sapphire, as it's slightly bigger, has 2 doors. So one door to the veranda from the bedroom and one door from the little living area. But the main difference that cruisers tell me they love so much is actually laundry. Believe it or not. So the Sapphire, one of the big benefits that you get when booking a Sapphire suite is actually complimentary laundry. And this goes down really, really well, especially when you're booking slightly longer cruises and you're at sea for a number of days. But both suites come with butler service. In fact, all suites come with butler service. Even the smallest suites on the ship to the largest suites all have your own butler. And they're wonderful, and they'll bespoke anything that you need. And they come with their little treats every afternoon, and it's one of my favourite parts of the day. So I've been lucky enough to travel in some of the Sapphire suites, and they really are a beautiful, beautiful cabin category. And recently I saw a fairly famous YouTuber describe the Sapphire suite as he thought the best suite at sea currently of all the ships that he'd sailed on. So we're really proud of the Sapphire suites we have. Many of them, when Crystal came back, huge decks were taken out and completely refurbished down to the steel, and the new Sapphire suite concept was launched on the ship. So very exceptional.
Cruising is not just about where you go, but how you feel along the way. The service, the detail, and the knowing there's always more to explore, more to experience, and more waiting just beyond the next gangway. Thank you for sailing alongside us today. Remember to always keep your compass steady, your horizons wide, and your spirit adventurous. And don't forget to follow Cruise Critic on your social media platforms as well. Until next time, we look forward to seeing you
On deck, let the ocean take your hand.